Hey folks, Quilly here and welcome to the start of a brand new RimWorld Let's Play featuring the Odyssey DLC. Very excited to have early access to this bad boy. I am super mega hyped. Now, if you're watching this on release day of this video, so the July the 9th is when the embargo lifts. Odyssey comes out on the 11th, but I'm able to drop some content before that. I'm actually recording this a couple of days before that even. But I wanted to say there is going to be a live stream today on the day this video releases, July 9th. And in that live stream, we are going to be playing from the start that starts us with a spaceship. But I didn't want to do both a YouTube series and a live stream series that started with the spaceship start. So for this one here, we are starting with the conventional beginning, but on or around day 7, we should get a sort of a quest that comes in here that basically is asking us, hey, do you want a bunch of spaceship stuff to crash land in your on your map so that you can collect it and build your own spaceship? So that's what's going to happen. We are going to be doing heavy spaceship things in this run, but we are going to be starting with a conventional start. Now let's talk about our ideology. Our ideology is going to be Star Trek-ism. We are going to try to, be goodly Federation types in this particular run, as opposed to Space Pirates, which is going to be my live streamed run. So we are starting with the new ideology that is available in Odyssey here, shipborne. So humans were destined to live among the stars. We prefer being indoors. We don't mind eating nutrient paste. Hey, it's like transhumanists. Temperature tough means we are actually very resistant to temperatures because space can get very cold. And our space habitat is preferred. So our people are going to be a little unhappy while they're on the ground. So hopefully we can do something about that. Did set the research to very fast, mostly to keep the pace of the gameplay up, but I thought it made sense. Of course, we are coming from a fairly scientifically advanced civilization, so it makes sense we should be able to reestablish our technology situation fairly quickly. I see it less as discovering things and more doing the engineering side to figure out how to do something using local material, right? When we're researching microelectronics, it's mostly, well, let's figure out what ores are available on the planet, how to best make use of it, rather than having to design microelectronics from the start. So yeah, execution's horrible if innocent. We don't do slavery. Everyone's got to wear pants and shirts. We don't harvest organs. We don't eat people. Corpses are bad. So in very many ways, very much the sort of baseline RimWorld experience over here. Our leader will be the captain. We do have a counselor as a moral guide, and our rituals I have decided to be very boring with the names. I put down 3 Sky Lantern rituals. This is not a fluid ideology, by the way. Now, I'm not opposed, if the story really demands it, going to dev mode, making some adjustments to our ideology in a way that makes sense to develop the story. But this is going to be more or less a fixed ideology through the run. So I've got 3 Sky Lantern festivals, which are all for recruiting, because, we're putting lights up in the sky. We're sending flares up, is the way I imagine it, to try to find other survivors from this spaceship crash landing that we've basically, imagine the Enterprise was sent to this planet, something happened, blew it up in orbit. Some people made it down in escape pods, and we're hoping to find the others. And then I've got also 3 dance parties, which are doing the others. So it's going to be potentially the Faction Goodwill, the Psi Focus Recharge, which will be interesting with our starting characters for reasons you'll see in a moment, and the Discover a Complex. So we got a little Trekkie shine for our temple type area. Our relics are going to be the type 3 phasers, type 2 phasers. This doesn't really match. So the type 1 phasers in, say, like the next gen era are like the teeny tiny little ones that are like smaller than a cell phone. And the type 2 phasers, the ones that look like a dustbuster. And the type 3 phasers are usually just called phaser rifles. And you saw those a lot more in, I'd say, like Deep Space Nine and stuff. You really saw a lot of those come up. We've also got a blunt left as a weapon. We think that Ultratech weapons are noble and that Neolithic ones are bad. So clubs, knives, spears, short bows, are all pretty bad. Noble things would be the Persona monoswords, Persona Zeus hammer, plasma sword. So I don't know how. I don't think this is going to come into play very much, but it seemed to make sense. And I didn't really mess with the appearance side of things. So there you go. Star Trekism. I kind of like this as a logo for it. And the ideology color is red. Was there somewhere else we were supposed to enforce it? Because I would have thought it would be fine if everyone were wearing red shirts. They might all end up in red dusters if we get the double strand. Let's take a look at our characters. Actually, let's let them land, and then we can look at them on the map here. There we go. So we've got our first character is Wolf 350, not to be confused with Worf or Wolf 359. This is completely different. Also, Wolf over here is not a Klingon. He is a Gong-Kling. So let's talk about this custom gene line that I made. This is not part of Odyssey. There is a new gene line in Odyssey. I think they're called the Spaceborns or something like that. But I decided to do some custom ones for this particular setup over here. So Wolf, the Gong-Klings here are always a little cranky and kind of aggressive. They also have strong melee damage. Social fights are going to be incredibly dangerous. Let's hope that Wolf can make friends. It's also robust. I mean, a little bit based kind of on sort of the Neanderthal setup, but a little bit different. So, and with great melee. So Wolf is hoping to get himself a Bluntleth, if at all possible, and he's just going to try to smack things. He's got the 2 smart trait, which is going to increase the mental break threshold. Wolf might be a huge problem. On the other hand, he will learn things faster, and that's great. He does start with a bunch of melee, including Ticket Passion, which one of our things in our genes was increasing, like guaranteeing a level of passion. Yeah, right there, great melee. Not the strong melee. I think there's another one. I think there's a very strong melee, which also adds a passion level. So theoretically, these two would guarantee that all the Gong-Klings would always have 2 pips of passion melee. Here you got 1 from his genes. He could have got more from, his background or randomness, but there you go. And he does have a tick of both construction and mining. We'll see Riveter is going to be our prime constructor person, but it's not bad to have a little backup, especially with 2 smart. You'll learn it quite quickly. And yeah, some mining is going to be okay. Bit of an artistic side. Great medical. Like, medical and intellectual is just sort of a bonus over here, but like, I'll take it. And this 2 smart might be a little bit dangerous. We shall see. Next in the queue, we've got Spork. Spork is a space elf. So I was tempted to make them very psychically sensitive, but I guess this is going to be like the Enterprise TV show era of Vulcans, which weren't embracing their sort of psychic power side. So we're doing that mostly because I want to keep the metabolic efficiency a little bit balanced here, because especially it didn't make sense that this quasi Vulcan was going and like scarfing food all the time. So I needed some things to balance out. We do have Dead Calm, which means they'll never do social fights. I don't know how that'll interact with Wolf's propensity for it. I don't know if one person just says no, it just never happens. I suppose that might be the case. And mental breaks are never violated. This just seemed like it made a lot of sense. Very unattractive. What I did this for is because it's just their personality and their social distance and their like lack of emotion that does it. It's not, I'm not thinking this is a reflection of their actual physique. It's just that who they are makes them, less attractive for developing relationships. Pointed ears, thin bodies. This is not part of the germline. I didn't think. I think these got random. I didn't set those as part of the germline. I don't think. But quick study is. So there you go. Global learning factor plus 50% is insane. Now, in my head, it's not so much that these space elves are supposed to learn things quickly. It's that they've been alive for so long, they've learned a bunch of things. But we couldn't really set that up in the RimWorld character setup. So they've got a normal age, but they'll learn things faster to kind of imitate that. Randomly rolled Cannibal and Abrasive, which isn't ideal. Abrasive's not ideal. Cannibal is funny. We don't have as an ideology cannibalism. So this makes me think of the Divinity Original Sin elves, which are all cannibals. I don't know what this is going to mean for Spork at all. I hope they don't get cranky if they don't get fed meat like for too long. Maybe we'll have them like sneak something out. I think they did start with a little bit of human meat, so maybe we can set that aside just for them. But they will have to cook it up as well. So I don't know. We will see. Anyway, skill wise, yes, they've got some passion for shooting. Also melee, but Wolf is obviously a good frontliner, and you're not particularly tough. So probably will prefer you to do some shooting things. You can cook and grow plants, and you're a pretty good crafter. Finally, we've got Riveter here, which has as a xenotype Futurama bot. Now you can't. In baseline RimWorld, we can't really have a species that is a robot, but my intention was to try to make something as close as possible to Bender. So this is Riveter Rodriguez, not to be confused with Bender Bending Rodriguez. Let's take a look. So I went with like a really broken, stupid setup for this one. You do have the option to like ignore normal limits when setting this up, and I was trying to make something that would feel like maybe a robot. You don't age, you don't get any kind of food poisoning or anything. Now, because of the way the game works, is you do still have to consume some food, although your hunger rate is as low as it gets. I think it hits 50% like at like +5 or something like that. But anyway, You can't truly die unless your head is destroyed. Although I believe, yeah, see, I've got slow wound healing, the extra pain, delicate. Riveter here is going to fall apart. Their arms are going to get torn off all the time, right? And they'll have to get repaired with prosthetic bits. But they probably won't die, is the idea. Perfect Immune, you're a robot. You're not going to get sick by a normal virus. And you don't actually have to breathe, which does give you the immunity to like the tox gases and stuff, which I was originally putting in as individual things. But this also means you don't have to breathe out in the vacuum, which seems to make a lot of sense. But yeah, you don't really heal on your own. Psychically deaf makes sense. You're a bit of a ponderous robot, so you're a slow runner. You've got the temperature resistance on both sides. You never sleep. But yeah, you'll fall apart and you'll complain about the pain. You're sterile, so you can't actually breed. And again, socially unattractive. Gray hair, gray eyes, no hair, no beard. Standard body, sure. Then you rolled this, which is weird. But again, I think this is just like random genetic stuff that happened, but I don't think the hair will show up. It's clearly not showing up over there. Robust digestion. Oh, I didn't actually need to put this on here. Well, maybe I did. Oh, yeah, sorry. Archite metabolism doesn't change your digestion at all. This just gives you more metabolic efficiency, which turns out we didn't need in the end. But I was like, okay, well, I need to be able to break some limits. Anyway, we do this. So yeah, you can eat anything you want and you get more nutrition out of the raw stuff. So we might just do that. But you are pretty stubborn. You're just, you've got your programming and you don't really go beyond that. So you've got the slow study. I give you the trotter hands because that felt like the closest to the sort of, the bender sort of triple fingers kind of thing that they've got set up here. That's going to hurt your manipulation. And just to balance the fact that this is like an unkillable machine, right? Is they can't shoot, they can't melee, but they're good at construction because that's what they're designed to do. As much as Bender loved to cook, he was pretty bad at it. And yeah, not very sociable. And we've got alcohol dependency. This is what we're going to need to consume to keep Riveter alive, which is going to be probably annoying. So even though we've set up some like OP setups in theories with some of these races, between Wolf's hyper aggression and Riveter's surprisingly annoying demands, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the universe. We will see. Now, your custom xenotypes, I don't think they can show up as randoms in the world, but I did go and set up with the start as, you like makes 8 characters and you bring 3. I made sure to set up the other 5 characters. I've got 2 more of the Gonklings and 2 more of the Space Elves. And they are opposite genders. So it's 2 female Gonklings and 2 male Space Elves to hopefully increase the chance that maybe we can find some like partners to breed true. And of course, like mixing the gene stuff can lead to some interesting things. So we're going to try to play with that a little bit more. Technically, there's also one more Futurama bot out there. But since they can't breed, that might not work out. However, I think we could extract the genes and implant them to people as a xenogerm things. Because, we're going to say that these are sort of bio-robot hybrids or something. I don't know. If like Vision and Wanda could make babies, totally it could work over here, right? In some way. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the world map. So we are here. I used Quill 18 as a seed, and I put myself basically right smack in the middle of my continent. I did a 50% world generation. And I kind of put myself more or less smack dab in the middle of it and ended up with an area that is actually kind of nice. Small hills, year-round growing period. We're not going to be sticking around here, of course, but it's going to be a nice start for now. In terms of early defensibility, it's not ideal, but it'll do. Oh, mod-wise, I've got the colored mood bar over here, which is why we can see the little gender indicators at the top, and the color works better for me. And it'll also put a little indicators if someone's sick or pregnant or something, which I like quite a bit. I'm obviously using the colorblind minerals mod, which just does that. And there's a couple others, but they're all nothing that changes gameplay. I think I've got like the mod options here. Oh yeah, there's a little level up marker that come up. So yeah, nothing that changes gameplay in any way whatsoever. And not even some of my favorites like the No Authors mod or the Smarter Construction that just stops you from like boxing them in. So yeah, we're gonna be playing effectively unmodded RimWorld plus a little bit of visual helpers. Okay, so we need to make sure we can survive for the first little bit. we did start next to oh, I'm running the P Music mod as well because I love P Music. We did start by a little patch of fertile ground. And I mean, just generally, we could grow food here pretty easily. We've got a natural wall sort of behind us. Obviously, we'll be mining out this at some point. But we could probably sort of put our back around here and just maybe box in, an area of this type. We're not, no water on this map, which is too bad. Because it would be quite cute to see like the new river system and also people like swimming, which they can do for recreation. But you know what? There's a little marsh here. I think people will end up going swimming in that. I could go and box in like more here too. And this is fertile ground there too, right? But let's build up to that, and we can do it around the water. It could be we could end up with torrential rain that will overflow the water, but we'll just deal with that when we get there. So first thing I'm going to do is let's set up our rice growing. And we'll have to get some hops growing. I think we have to research beer. You know what? I'm going to square this off. Like that. Yeah, okay, that is a growing zone. For some reason I thought, wait, did I just put down a home zone? I don't know why I thought that. Let's grow some rice. And then let's do this out of hops, assuming I can grow it now. Okay, yes, you can with the skill of 3. Hops. How fertility sensitive are you? 70%. Okay, so not as much as the rice, but still some. Like if it was down to 40%, well, I mean, we're basically not using the fertile terrain at all anymore. I guess what I should also do is set up a heal root. We don't have the skill for it yet, but we will. And, oh, hold on. We're going to expand this so it's nice and square with that. Let me hide the fertility marker now because it's a little annoying to see. I'm also going to go and prepare a zone here for cotton, but I'm going to disallow the sowing for now. We're just going to focus on getting the food. We do need to get the hops going as quickly as possible. Oh, I forgot to say, I did go and disable the anomaly events. I'm running the anomaly DLC, but I think in the storyteller setup, I did just go and turn off the anomaly things because that's not going to be the focus of this particular run, and I think it would be distracting from the theme. Okay. Let's, before we unpause, how deep are we? 17 minutes into this episode, we haven't unpaused yet, but we did have a lot of initial talking. I'm going to go and do that, and I want to go and plop down. Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll plan the area. Now, we, of course, in patch 1.6, we have to be a little bit more, like, purpose-specific with some of our buildings. We don't necessarily want to be doing a big mega room, but we can probably still start with this, and then we'll we might still do a little mini barracks, but we don't want the barracks as part of the workshop. And then we're going to need a research area that is separate from that. And actually, speaking of the research area, I believe, just to say, like, you see this, we might want to make this building slightly longer so we can put 4 in here. I mean, we've only got 3 people, but we should get some other joiners relatively soon. So I think what I'll do is I'll just extend this out 1 more tile, because then we could very comfortably fit 4 of these things in here. Now, we might not do that because if this is a workshop, we might not want this. Although I could put a little wall here, right? If I put a wall here, this is lab, workshop, and then we could dig away a little bit there, or extend over here for the bedrooms / dining rooms / whatever. But I'm going to cancel those for now. And I'm going to plan for a door. I guess we don't have a midpoint door anymore because of its length, but that's going to have to be okay. Although what I might want to do, like, do I want to get like a door here and a door here? I don't know. Maybe I'll do this. Don't necessarily need a centered door right here. Let me do this for the start. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to forbid this, because the first thing I want to do is I want to get the beds up. Although Bender doesn't sleep. So I think that also means he's not going to be able to get inspiration, because I think that happens with sleep. But in theory, we don't need 3 beds. That's interesting. I might set up 3, because then we can always... Oh, you know, let's set up the build for 2. Okay, let's go and unpause finally. We'll make this whole area a stockpile zone as well, which is going to get adjusted for sure. And we'll set up a dumping stockpile. I don't know, yeah, up over here. And then let me just shrink it away from the growing area a little bit, but I wanted it aligned otherwise. All right, good, groovy. Oh, and we have a puppy. So we've got ourselves a Yorkshire Terrier, and we can train it to nuzzle more and give us more mood boosts. You know what? Hopefully you'll nuzzle. Oh, you're bonded with Wolf? That's actually exactly what I was hoping for, because Wolf needs a bit of a boost to the mood. Yeah, no one likes living on the planet in the dirt, and you've got genetic pessimism, and you could be very dangerous if something goes badly. Wolf, we would like to... Where's the knife? Oh, someone already dragged it over here. Please equip that. And Spork. Yeah, Riveter can't really fight at all, but Spork, I'm going to get you to do that one, and Riveter, I'm going to get you with the revolver, please. Let's go and set up some priorities. Over there, got a couple of great doctors. Riveter being a doctor is a little scary to me, you know, just thematically, but sure. The basic goes up. I guess we don't really have an animal handler to train our puppy. So Riveter on construction, cook, grow. Wolf can't mine very well for now, but it's definitely going to be your priority. Now, yeah, the crafting side of things is going to be trickier. Again, I'm going to put the regular craft to a 4 because that's mostly cutting rocks, which I'll have to do some research, which anyone can do because it doesn't require skill. It doesn't use skill in any way. It doesn't develop skill, so it doesn't matter. The smithing and tailoring here, I guess it's going to be fine on Spork, but we're definitely going to want someone to take over the growing, plant cutting, maybe the cooking. Right now, there's not going to... Actually, cooking's not... This is mostly going to be butchering, because we can actually do nutrient paste dispensers, which is absolutely what we're going to want to have. Let me go and start getting some of these walls up. We're going to make sure to turn on the automatic rebuild of destroyed structures in the home area. I'll leave the auto home zoning on. No, I should really turn that off. Now, it will have home zoned my crop field here and beyond, yeah, which might lead to some awkward little cleaning commands. So we're just going to go and trim this way, way down. So yeah, right now our people are like, well, we don't know what we're going to do. We just crash landed. Our ship burned up in the atmosphere. Oh my God, we might be stuck here forever. We don't know. Right now, we had a good inspirational talk telling people, wait, let's just breathe and we'll figure out how to survive this. So yeah, Riveter never sleeping is going to be handy. It's going to be real handy. And yeah, we might need to do this because it might be important for the hauling and cleaning to be done more regularly. Although, Riveter hauling isn't ideal because you're genetically slower, right? Oh, hold on. You've got fast walker. What is this resulting in your actual movement speed? 460. Because yeah, you slow genes. Oh, the slow runner from your genes and the fast walker perfectly canceling each other out for just normal movement speed. Oops, that's not where I want to go. Info. Yeah, 460. 460. Okay, everyone moves the same speed. Yeah, that's very convenient. So yeah, Riveter has fast walker, but isn't actually a fast walker. It just means they're not a slow walker. And theoretically working 24/7. Although, we got to get you some booze. Oh, speaking of, okay, this is going to be very important here. We're going to go... I need to put Wolf and Spork on, like, maybe no drugs, or... Okay, let me manage this. I'm going to rename this. I know you can change what is the default now, but I'm going to explicitly just still call this default. I'm going to turn off... beer. Like, I don't want people to consume beer. I think Riveter still will, because it's not an addiction, it's a need, so I think it'll still get processed. I mean, I guess if people are addicted, I could go and turn that on, or maybe I should turn this off and just be like, because it's always annoying when you get a visitor from the Empire, and then they consume one of these, but then they get upset about it. I don't know. I guess for addictions, we can leave this on, but we're not going to have anyone consume any of it. The 1 drink per day. In fact, I don't know if like 1 drink is exactly right, because I still might not want to have anyone else consume the beer, because we need to make sure Riveter will have access to it as much as possible. But I can set up the Psychite tea and Smoke Leaf on a schedule. You can drink this every 2 days. And honestly, I might be fine with doing it like literally always, but maybe I'll be like, listen, take it if your mood is under 70. Oh my God. Can I mouse wheel this? No. There we go, 70. And then the smoke leaf, it's also safe to do every other day, but it does go and lower your consciousness. So I really only want this if your mood is below 50. If you haven't managed to maintain your mood, if it's below 50, then every 2 days you can go and have a smoke leaf joint, and that's going to be okay. And then I'll put this back on. So we'll set that up. So I think Riveter will drink alcohol. We're just going to try to keep an eye on you. We're going to tell our people, all of them, whether they're doctor or not, to carry 1 herbal medicine with them. And we're going to make sure that we only use herbal medicine right now, although we don't have any, which means they'll just be treated without medicine right now if something happens. But I could also go and put in a little, here, harvest some heal root, please. Okay, that's looking okay. Schedule-wise, I'm going to put the recreation period here and put the sleep like this. Again, they won't actually recreate for 3 hours. If their recreation meter fills up, they'll treat this as an anything period. So they'll probably also go and complete some work. But it'll keep moods up. It'll help socializing a wee bit, and that's okay. And then I think this is going to be fine for now. We're not worried about art currently. So that's going to be fine. Okay. So yeah, we're getting some planting going on. What's your plant skill right now? Yeah, it's only a 4, but you got the passion for it. It should be okay. Oh, we'll a table and some recreation as well for mood. Let's go and set that up near the door. And then we'll set up a couple of chairs. You know what? I'll set up a trio and then a wooden chess table in the corner so you can play that way. And I'll put a horseshoe pin, just outside over here. All right. You guys just going for your walks? I'm going for a swim! The swim counts as a solitary activity. If we watch this, you can see solitary relaxation tolerance is going up because that's what it's counting at. But look at them. They're going for a little swim in the pond. Oh, it's so delightful. These steel. That is steel. Oh, that's very lovely. Okay. One thing we do have to make sure, because I'm not running the mod, is one of the problems when you put down a construction, if it goes over where there's a tree, your constructor will try to chop down the tree, which can be very slow if they have no plant skill. So you want to manually flag them to be cut, and you do want to encourage your planter. In fact, let me go and get the planter to go and do these, because they're going to stop the roof from happening. And I want Spork to be doing the cutting, because they've got more plant skill, and it will give them some XP as they work too, because it's not terribly quick. And yeah, we've got no one training Hitomo. It's going to have to be okay for now. And there you go. And I really want to avoid having too big of a base. We've got lots of trees on this map, so we're clearly going to be... You know what? I'm going to let the construction finish the table and chairs first. And then we'll set up a wood-fired generator. There you go. You guys just still swimming. You're probably still on your break period. Why are you so stressed? Darkness. Uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, you need a chair / a bed. But Riveter should be fine. You have no tiredness need. Your comfort still sucks. Without a table. Well, we're working on it here. Yeah, Riveter, Haul and Steel. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if you've got nothing to construct, you'll go into Haul and Clean. And I was considering turning off your hauling. I'm like, oh, if you're slow, we might not want you going all over the map to do the hauling, and then you can get you to focus on research. But as it turns out, you're not slow at all, so this seems perfectly okay. We'll put a little deconstruct. That also looks like steel to me. And there, and I think this is all steel. And this is counting as part of our wealth. So, and breaking this down is really fast comparing to mining. So we may as well do that. I mean, we've got some steel to start off with, of course. But that'll have to do. We may have to pick a few more berries too. I'll flag a few of those to get started. We'll turn off some of our food, change some of our food rules soon. And yeah, we're going to go and set up what will be our freezer, although I don't know if, well, we're going to get the power pretty quick. So let me build this. I think we might build it here. A little closer to the food than there. I don't know. It's kind of 6 of 1, half dozen, isn't it? Let me just move the horseshoe pin there. And by move, I mean build a copy. You can cancel that one. But yeah, we'll set that up. We're going to have the nutrient paste dispenser relatively soon. So hopefully we don't consume all of our survival packs. Steel door. Oh, that's a slate table. Well, you know what? We'll deconstruct it anyway. I guess I could have just stolen it, but this is fine. I like the look of the wood. Y'all know that about me. Reached level 11. Good job, Riveter. And yeah, if you could just finish this bit, which I guess, oh, you're probably waiting for a little bit more wood. Here, let me chop this. You're going to have to chop this Get out of the way in a second anyway. But I want to turn off the raw food. And Riveter's kind of an exclusion to that. In fact, they get like bonus nutrition from raw food. So it makes me wonder if Riveter should just be assigned to just eat raw. And Spork, I mean, we've got this human meat, although it's going to rot pretty quick. Get you to consume it. Doesn't seem like a brilliant idea. Probably it's just going to rot out. And that's going to have to be okay. All right, Wolf. Hauling some steel. Good. Riveter, yeah, there's little steel all over the map already without us having to do more deconstruction. Level 5 plants, nice. Once we get to level 8, we'll be able to get our heal route going. Yeah, I won't rush to get the cotton down immediately. Do this and then probably focus on chopping down some trees for me. Thank you very much. Okay, we got the chest table, and we'll get the second share up now, too. Good. Okay. Research. I feel like, weirdly, the first research I have to do is beer brewing. Because we got to get these hops converted into beer for poor old Riveter here. And we probably need to grow more hops as well. But that'll be our start anyway. Maybe we can trade for beer or other things like that. There we go, going swimming. And again, if they hit 100% on recreation, then they will stop and do other things. Oh, you don't like the knife. Yes, it's not high-tech enough. Right. Thought I'd failed to think about that. Wolfie is going to be the problem because it's going to take a long time before we got a non-Neolithic melee weapon for you. Yeah, we can't build any of these ourselves, right? I mean, finding the Bluntleth would be good, but maybe we can get one of these as a drop or a quest reward. So speaking of quests, I'm going to go and turn off the Goodwill and turn off the Honor. Hey, Orbital Consortium, you're new. I'm going to turn off that. This is not part of a mod, but when you get a quest, you get an option of 3 different rewards, and normally one of the rewards will be Goodwill. Here, I want 3 different material rewards to get some more options. All right, Riveter, still at work. Man, I mean, you are much more eager to work, perhaps, than a certain bending unit we know and love, but that is still going to... I'm not going to complain. It's very handy. It's very, very handy for us. Oh my god. Like, again, that I made something that was OP, but also has tons of drawbacks. I mean, you are useless in combat. Oh my god. We cannot use you to fight at all. But yeah, you're going to be very helpful in other ways. And the fact that you can research 24/7 is actually kind of sick. But I hadn't intended that. Hey, Hitomi. So Hitomi will occasionally cut a little bit for some moods, and then yeah, if we train you up, which right now I don't have anyone set to animal handling, but we'll see. Let's tweak our apparel policy right now. Again, I'll do the thing where I rename this to default, which I like to do. Notice that there's a new spacefarer policy set by default, which just makes sure that people are, I guess, oh, it's including these armors. So I'm thinking these armors, yeah, they do give you the vacuum resistance, nice. But we also get the vac suits, which has some armor as well. It super slows down your movement. You do not want to be wearing the vac suits if you can avoid it. Although the vac helmets are fine. Yeah, you get the toxic environment resistance, vacuum resistance, and it's got some amount of armor as well. I mean, it's expensive to make as just armor, but it is kind of interesting. But we do need some tech for that. We will need, after microelectronics, there is orbital tech over here, which is how it unlocks our ability to make our own vac suits. If you do start with the start that starts you with a spaceship, it'll also start you with 3 full vac suits for your people. It's 3 people, a spaceship, and some mechanoids that always want to chase you. Okay, let's go and get our power set up here. You know, I'll just put it behind here. That way I don't have to worry about which direction I'm expanding in. I was thinking maybe bedrooms over here, but we'll set that up. And I'm just going to run hidden conduits because I do like those. Come down to around here, and that should give us coverage everywhere. And then once that's built, we have components, we have steel. Yeah, so that should be buildable just fine. Oh, Wolfie was just dropping things off, not actually doing the research. No one's actually idle. Good. Okay, that's important. And we're getting more wood. That's good too. Oh, so maybe I should have started with this and then the cable's there. It is so handy that, yeah, they're dropping off the goods as part of the hauling job, which I think you used to have to mod a long time ago. I feel like with the hauling. I don't know. There we go. Build that conduit, yeah. Build this, perfect. And now that that is started, we're gonna get, I think, one wall lamp. Won't quite cover the whole room. All right, so we'll get a pair of those down. That's fine. This room might be getting split in two later on anyway, because the game is definitely encouraging that sort of thing now. Hey, get our outfit stands. That's really neat. I really like this. That's gonna be fun to play with. So yeah, get that down. So I'm gonna load in some wood. We'll get the power going. And then what's our next thing? Probably the food situation is next. Okay, I do think I'm going to set it up down here. We need the interaction spot to be clear, so possibly what I'll do is I'll put the gap in here, and then, so that's going to go there. We'll leave enough room for the hoppers, and a little extra space for storage. This is going to be small enough. I don't think we're going to have to double wall it. And then we'll give you a walk path here. I'm not going to airlock it either. So this way the food would have to get carried in this way. You know what? I think I'm fine with that and not having outdoor access. That's going to be okay. We'll haul that rock out of the way. And just in case this metal scrap gets brought inside, we're going to go and get that cleared as well. But visitors with some items to trade. You know what I never thought of? Can you rename the factions during game creation? Or the other ideologies? That might be useful to do that. One of the things I want to do at some point is start a thing where I just follow one of the starting ideologies. I don't make my own. Because then we're not min-maxing the same way. But we would find a lot of people in the world who follow our ideology. Which is right now, most of the people that we get from like raids and whatever, they're not going to follow our ideology. So then we always have to go through the conversion process. Oh, sorry, I need a cooler. Probably one will do this whole room. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. I'll bring this to here. That'll lead to hooking up there. That's going to be fine. And we're going to want a lamp in here as well. Okie dokie. Good, good, good. Okay, bring that outside. We got the power. Who's our best chatter, actually? Oh, yeah. We actually don't have anyone with good social skills. Spork is a little bit the best, even though you are unattractive. Yeah, not having a social person is going to make things a little trickier. We do start with some money. We could buy more survival packs. I don't know if I want to buy more medicine. Sell the extra pants. No, I guess I'm not actually going to do any trade with you. Maybe I shoulda, but I didn't. Let's make this back area our research room. So let me reinstall you. Unless, hold on, do I want to make a separate barracks now? Maybe I should, huh? Well, wait a tiny bit, because we are going to need a workshop that isn't a barracks so that it gets the full production speed. But I'll move you out of the way for a scooch, and then... I mean, you could make the research room like flush here, right? You could do that and then keep chaining them. I guess I could just do 2 research labs and then a wall, but if we do it this way, then people can walk past these perfectly okay. So I'll put 2 of them down for now. I don't know, do I just set up a pair? Ideally, I'm going to want all these guys researching later, but I don't know. Let's put a door here. Yeah, move the beds out. This is going to count as a laboratory, and we can start working on some research. Temperature is fine. Yep, good. Okay. Let me deconstruct this because otherwise it's always quite low on the priority list. There we go. We'll get that. The nutrient paste dispenser does count as a wall for all of its tiles, so this will seal this room in. There you go. Power's on. I don't need to adjust this cooler quite yet because this isn't set up. Tap, 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 tap. Let me get rid of this stockpile and rebuild a regular stockpile zone over here, which will still need to be adjusted, which actually makes me think this dumping stockpile, I like to enable all raw resources other than plants. And usually I want to keep the gold and the silver indoors as well for trade. We got the graphite petals. We're just going to pump this up to preferred. Actually, I'm going to set it to important. So our shelves will be set to preferred and we'll accept things like steel and whatever, but I really want that stored outside because it doesn't decay. And we can save a lot of space if that stuff just gets stored outside. If you're not using shelves, is also quite nice because the metal and stuff is quite ugly, so keeping it outside is helpful that way. Up. Good. And we're going to set up some hoppers. I'll just set them up on the far side for now, and that's going to be okay. Then I'm going to make a new stockpile zone that doesn't include the door because that would be poor in here. Clear all. Don't allow rotten. On the ground, really what we're just looking for is to hold corpses. I'm going to put this to... I guess I can have this be preferred. And I can allow food, like if we've got some overflow, the food can sit on the ground. So this stuff here doesn't need to be in the freezer. I don't think the chocolate... Baby food might. I don't think it's canned, and then that. So we can use this for food storage right now. We'll put some shelves in here later. I think that this spot here would be the first place you grab food from, and then it goes, I think, counterclockwise. So I think this one gets the food first. Oh, this is a refrigerator though, or will be if I do this. Because normally I want to prioritize consuming the meat first because it can rot if I'm not using refrigeration. But I'm going to go with the fridge immediately this time around. We'll see how well this actually functions. Oh, it's quite chilly outside right now. Which will lead to complaints about having slept in the cold. Yeah, it's surprisingly cold. All right, we'll get a heater next to these beds. 0. There you go, going negative. Barely so, but it is getting there. All right, we might want to do a little bit of hunting. I'm sure Wolf would like to do it, but melee hunting sounds awkward, so probably it's just going to be Spork. Who's going to get a hunt on like a bit of a number 1? Okay, shooting 5. It's not great, but it's something. Let's go and hunt, let's say just 1 deer. Oh, we need a butcher's table, which I guess I'll put inside the base. Inside the freezer. You'll get the slow because of the bad temperature. That's fine. I think it's A-okay. And I don't think I need more hoppers. It gives a bit of more of a buffer. We might add some to the bottom. We could just move this over after too, but I'll just go with this. All right, let's set up a bill. Butcher creatures, do forever. We don't want to do human-like corpses because we don't approve of that. I guess we don't have to do insects. Where's insects? Wait, do they have their own names or something? Narwhal, snail. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, but all the animal stuff is on. We will butcher that because we'll be using that to make kibble. Let's do a make kibble job. First, do forever where we turn off all raw food other than insect meat. Because again, our people won't want to eat it. I guess if we end up with human meat, we can turn to kibble, and I don't think that'll upset anyone. Well, I'm not sure. I have no idea. I'll just do this. So this is the, if you've got insect meat, combine it with hay to make kibble forever. And then we'll also do a do until you have X kibble, where we just try to keep a little bit of kibble around for our critter. I guess I should probably plant some hay. And by doing 3 wide, you also prevent blight from making jumps. I'm going to enable the cotton sowing. I'm worried that we're going to need more of the hops. So we're growing 100 rice plants. So, and with year-round growing, I mean, we should only need 60 to feed all 3 of our people. We want some spare for the inevitable recruits. Speaking of recruits, do I want to put out a flare immediately? I think the answer is yes. Under ideology, we'll put a ritual spot just anywhere. It doesn't matter. And let's go and do our sky recruit one. 70% expected quality. And if it comes out on the good side, then it's 50-50 chance we will get a new recruit. And there's at least, I think, 1 skill that we could use it in. I can't remember what it was, but we're not going to be too picky at first because we might just need numbers. And it feels like we wouldn't be mean. Oh, difficulty-wise, I didn't address that. I'm just playing on the Strive to Survive, the middle. Okay, so that was unimpressive. We actually got a mood penalty, and we got a mad sparrow. Ooh, we had a flying creature as our first mad creature. Fascinating. We're going to go and deal with this as is. So we're just going to set up over here with Wolf in the front to be ready to pull the attention. Look at it fly. Whack. All right. Dead bird. You get a little bit of extra initial meat. Oh, let me change our food policy. So first of all, again, I'll rename this one to default. And I'm going to tell them, don't eat anything that's raw. Yep, berries and things could potentially be safe, but you can also get food poisoning from it. So turn that off, and don't eat the corpses directly either, because it's always annoying when they do that when they're desperate, instead of just waiting for it to be chopped up, and then you can consume it afterwards. But yeah, Spork has got cooking on. Oh, you've got the hunting as a first priority. So you are going to go and do that. I think you'd already gone and shot that before based on the blood that was on the ground. I think there was already some blood, but yeah, you finished it up, which is great. You dumped it there. Right. This is set to important as opposed to, I guess maybe I should just say don't put fresh here. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Spork, you're going to eat your survival meal, which is a little bit of a waste. Oh, Wolf is hauling that. I'm like, what? Why can't you do this? But it was occupied. There you go. Now you're going to do butchering of the sparrow, but then you should do the buck afterwards. There you go, dropping that off. So now we can start eating the nutrient-paste meals. Let me make sure there's the extra meat, because if it's too small, we might not have done it. But there we go. We got lots of meat now, ready to go. People are going to haul that in. That's lovely. We're doing some fun activities. Wolf is still cranky for lots of reasons. Eric's, oh my god. Yeah, we might need to get some bedrooms up soon. Yeah. I want to reserve this space for more. It's a 5x5 internal bedroom. You know what we could do? We could do a little offset thing, or if we want to stay gritty, I mean, we'll have to mine some of this stuff out, but we can plan. Oh, can I not move you? Oh, I thought you could move these. I guess I could do a disconnected bedroom block. But it might just be important to at least get Wolf into a bedroom as early as possible. So I think that might be what happens here. Let's get some vent connections through here, because these are all rooms that are going to want relatively reasonable temperature. I mean, as long as this doesn't get cold, it wouldn't impact the rate of things. Yeah. Okay, good. Prioritize this because we need this to, once again, count as a laboratory, please. Might just get a spare bed set up over here, rather than move one of these. I guess it partially depends on if we do get a recruit. Let's try to do another ritual. Where did I put my ritual spot? Didn't I put it here? Ritual. Ah, yeah, it's right under the grass. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was there. All right, let's do another sky recruit. Oh, I don't have enough wood. Well. Let's chop some more trees. I mean, Spork's busy doing the planting right now anyway, but I think I was out of flagged trees to cut anyway. All right, and research is happening. That is lovely. Right, we're getting our brewing going. And this is counting as a barracks right now, and the beds do have a pretty big push on that. So if I want this to become a workshop, and I don't think it matters if the dining room or anything is in there, or the recreation. We want this to be flagged as a workshop, so we do need to get these beds out of here. So we will get those bedrooms. Do I need steel? Not yet. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a little gap here. Thank you for interrupting my clicking, but sure. Do we go for guns now? I think we got to. I mean, we're just thinking smithing and machining because we need to get some industrial ability up so that we can go and fabricate spaceship parts. That's all we're thinking. We're not thinking about violence. Well, Wolf might be. Oh, I guess I don't need a bedroom for Riveter. So let me just put a little forbid on that. And do this. We got Spork an actual bedroom. Quite early. I mean, adding more bedrooms. Ooh, I didn't think about this. What is my faction name? Oh, also, we'll put a cut in here. I mean, we might just be the Star Trekkers. which I think is fine. We're going to call this place Crash Site, Crashdown. Crashdown sounds good. Feels like Crashdown is probably a thing from something else. Hold on. If I Google Crashdown, what comes up? A Roswell fan site. Crashdown is a character in Battlestar Galactica. Oh, no, this seems fine. It doesn't actually seem to be the very heavily used reference to anything. Good. So this settlement's going to be Crashdown. We are just going to be the Star Trekkers. You know, which Star Trekism it all kind of goes. All right, we'll put the cut in here. Get the extra little bedroom. Hopefully keep Wolf happy. And yeah, we're mostly just having to get people out of this area. I mean, the bedrooms won't come until we get more trees chopped down. We could put a low priority plant cut on people for when they turn idle, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. And again, we could set some of these to a 3 above these, but I think this is probably the correct order for us. And yeah, I'm going to try real hard not to overload people on jobs so that we do get a lot of research happening as much as possible. And yeah, we will need another person. Yeah, we'll wait for the trees. Okay, we'll put the cut in here. Hey, folks, if you are new to the channel, of course, make sure to subscribe. In general, a like and a comment on the video really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I'll try to be getting more of these episodes out soon. And again, if you're watching this on July 9th, which should be when this video goes live, I will be live streaming RimWorld Odyssey as well here on YouTube, as well as twitch.tv/Quill18. And on that one, we'll be doing the start where we start with a spaceship. We might use some of these same custom races, or we might just use the built-in Void Spaceborne, whatever they're called. We might do that, but they're going to be space pirates, and they're going to have the raider theme, and we're going to be using our spaceship to aggressively go and assault locations. Fun times. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.